In this tutorial video, we will talk about curried functions in JavaScript and we will learn about how to use them. By definition, a curried function accepts a parameter and returns a derived or specialized function. Now let's look at an example to see how we can create a curried function. I have a simple example here. We have a function sum and it accepts three parameters and returns a summation of the three parameters. So if I'm calling sum of 3, 4, and 5, the output would be 12. Now let's convert this to a curried function. So I would first create a function curried sum, and by definition curried function accepts a parameter. So I would write a, and then returns a derived function. So I would call return function, and this function would accept the second parameter b, and this function would return another function. So this function would return function c, and this would return a plus b plus c. Now if we have to invoke this curried sum, we would have to invoke it like this: curried sum 3, then 4, and then 5. So this is how we create a curried sum or a curried function in JavaScript. Now let's try to understand what's happening here. So we have a function, and this function returns another function, and this function returns another function. And finally, your lowest level of function returns the value. So this is the lowest level, and this lowest level returns the actual value. When we are invoking this function, if I just write curried sum and then invoke it with 3, as we can see here that this returns me this function. If I pass another param 4, this returns me this lowest level of function. As we can see here, the lowest level of function is getting printed. When I invoke this lowest level of function, it returns me the actual value. So we have 3, 4, 5, and it gives me the actual value. One of the advantages of using curried functions is reusability, and let's see how. So let's say we have 3 different use cases and we want to add 3, 4, 5. We want to add 3, 2, 2, and then we want to add 3, 8, 7. So we have these 3 use cases, and if I have to print the sum of these, I would just call it 3 different times. So this, and this, and I would just change the values here: 3, 2, 2, 3, 8, 7, 3, 8, and 7. Now we can see here that 3 is common to all these 3 different use cases. So what I can do here is I can take const add to 3 and curried sum of 3. So this means that we want to add numbers to 3, and then I can just do it like this. I want to add 4 and 5 to 3, and then here I want to add 2 and 2 to 3, and then here I want to add 8 and 7 to 3. So this way we have reused this highest level of curried function so that we don't have to repeat it at multiple places. So this is a very brief introduction about curried functions, and it should help you to get started with understanding curried functions and using them in your day-to-day project activities. Thank you for watching the video. Please like the video if you find it useful and subscribe to my channel. If you have any suggestions or if you want to cover any other topics, please leave a comment below.